Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 7 math. aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address provided by the administrator. Then you to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 7 math and then click on view all lessons. There the lessons we're going to cover today are number sequences mixed review, number sequences word problems, evaluate variable expressions for number sequences, write variable expressions for arithmetic sequences. So please well that is number sequences mixed review. Here I'm on the lesson. Let's just start lesson. Type the number sequence. Type the missing number in this sequences. One times two is two. Two times two is four. Four times two is eight. And eight times two is 16. So 16 times 32. The next one in the sequence is 32. Let's just start with the test questions. One, four, the missing number 16 and 25. So that is 1 square 1 is the square of 2. Then we have the missing number 16 and 25. So then the missing number is the square of 3. That is 3 square equals 9. Is 3 correct? Type the next number in this. One one two four seven. So let's just see. One one plus one is two. 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 3 is 7. So the next one would 4, that is 11. The next one is 11. Option number 1 is the correct option. Is the missing number in this pattern? 1, the missing number 64, 125. 1, 3 times 3 is 9, and 9 times 3 is 27. Option number 2 is the correct option. That is 27. Option number 2 is the correct option, 27. That is 27. 4, but 4 times 4 is 6 times 4 is 64. 64 times 4 is 256. And 256 times 4 is 1024. So the next number in the sequence is that is 1. What is the missing number in this sequence? Two- 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus is 8. So 8 plus 4 is that is 12. 8 plus 4 is 12. So option number 1 is the correct. 13. Be 13. I think 12. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. Oh, yeah. But that would be how 13? 4, 8 plus 4 would be 12. So the missing number is 12. I don't know how it is 13. I must be 12. Okay, and complete the lesson by yourself today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next one is number sequences word problem. So let's just start with the lesson. Let's just start with the test questions. Eight empty cans in the first bin, 60 empty cans in the second bin, 72 empty cans in the third bin, 84 empty cans in the fourth bin, and 96 empty cans on the fifth bin. So there are 48. Why this pen is not working? Sixty plus 12 is 72. 72 plus 12 is 84. And 84 plus 12 is 96 plus 12, 84 plus 12 is 96. Plus 12 is 108. Option number 1 is the oh, finally it started working. So the correct option is 188 empty. 108 empty cans. The pattern is growing by 12 actually. Option number 1 is the correct option. Her books and putting them on shelves. She put one book on first shelf, two books on second shelf, hold on, let me just. Okay, now it's working. Okay, NG is organizing second, four books on third, and eight book on fourth, and 16 on fifth. If the pattern continues, how many books will NG put on sixth shelf? Which is the correct option? The next one is 32 option. Farmer Tank has a plot of tomato plants. There are 8 tomato plants in the first row, 16 tomato plants in the second row, 4 tomato plants in the third, and 32 tomato plants in the fourth row. If the pattern continues, how many tomato plants will there be in the fifth? The next one is the pattern is growing by 8. 48. Relay ran one lap on Tuesday, two laps on Wednesday, four laps on Thursday, and eight laps on Friday. If the pattern continues, how many laps will relay times 2? 16 it is. Option number one is the correct option. The teacher is handing out note cards to third and 64 note cards to fourth. If the pattern continues, how many note cards will the teacher give to the fifth student? So, which is the correct option? The next one would be 256 note. One is the correct option. Just understand how the pattern is growing, then you can do not guess the answers. You're just guessing the answers. Monday and 70 push-ups on Tuesday. If the pattern continues, how many push-ups will they do on Wednesday? So, which is the correct option? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. Evaluate variable expressions for number sequences. Find the first three terms of the find below, where n represents the positions of a term in the sequence. Start with n equals 1. So n minus 7, starting with n equals 1. First thing is replace the variable n1 That is 1 minus 7 equals negative 6. Then you need to replace n every time by 1. So that is n minus 7. So 2 minus 7 is negative 5. Then n minus 7, 3 minus negative 5 and negative. Let's just start with the test questions. Fi- Start with n equals 1. So let's just replace n with 1. So 7 times 1 plus 5 plus 5 is 12. Now 7 times 2. 7 plus 2 is 14 plus 5 is 19. 7 times 3 is 21 plus 5 is 6. 7 times 4 is 28 and 20. Option number 1 is the correct option, that is 12, 19, 26 and 33. Find the first 5 terms of the sequence defined below, where n represents the position of a term in the sequence. Starting with n equals 1. 2 times 2 exponent 1. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 exponent square. 2 times 2 is 4 and 4 times 2 times 2 exponent 3. 2 times 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 2 2 exponent 5. That is 64. So the numbers are 4, 8, 16, 32 and 64. Option number 1 is the correct option, that is 4, 8, 16, 32 and 64. Option number 1 is the correct option. Find the first 4 terms in the sequences where n represents the position of a term in the sequence. So let's just start with n equals 1. 3, 2 exponent square. 2 square is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 3, 2 exponent 3. 8 times 3 is 24. 3, 2 exponent 4. 16 times 3 is 48. So the numbers are 6, 12, 24, and 48. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 6, 12, 24, and 48. Find the first three terms of the sequence defined below where n represents the position of a term in the sequence. Start with n equals 1, n minus 7. So what 2 minus 7 equals negative 5. 3 minus 7 equals negative 4. So they are negative 7, negative 4. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today, next lesson. The next lesson is right variable expressions for arithmetic sequences. Write an expression to describe the sequence below. Use n to represent the position of a term in the sequence. Negative 2, negative 4, negative 6, and negative 8. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. And negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. So that then the mathematical expression would be negative 2n. Let's just start with the test questions. Write an expression to describe the sequence below. Use n to represent the position of a term in sequence where n equals 1, so 2, 3, 4, 5. So you need to start with n equals 1, right? The expression would be n plus 1. So starting with uh like not have 1. So this isn't the correct option. Look for the second one. N plus 1. Starting with 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4 and 4 plus 1 is 5. Then it would be n plus 1. Option number 2 is the correct option. That would be n plus 1. Write an expression to describe the sequence below. Use n to represent 4n. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. And 4 16. So that is 4, 8, 12, and 16. Option number 2 is the correct option. It would be four 16. Option number 2 is the correct option. That is 4. Write an expression to describe the sequence below. -3, -2, -1. 0. It would be n minus 4. 1 minus 4 is 2 minus 4 is -2. 3 minus 4 is -1. And 4 minus 4 is 0. Option number 2 is the correct option. That is n minus 4. -3, -2, -1, and 0. Option number 2 is the correct option. That is n minus 4. Right? Where n equals 1 for the first term. -5n. That is -5, -10, -15, and -20. Basically, option number 1 is the correct option. That is -5n. Write an expression to describe the sequence below. Use n to represent the position of a term in the sequence where n equals 1 for the first term. That is n minus 3 option number 2 is the correct option. Write an expression to describe the sequence below. Use n to represent the term in the sequence where n equals 1 for the first time. That is negative 6 and option number 1 is the working on his number sequences. The lessons we have covered today are number sequences mixed review, number sequences word problems, evaluations for the number sequences, write variable expressions for arithmetic sequences. So we were working on grade 7 math. Please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice. That is your homework until next session. So if you need or either you can write them down in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions if you have any. So any questions? Okay, then